Hi, welcome to Tochi's channel. If it is your first time of stopping by or coming across my YouTube channel, you are highly welcome. I appreciate each and every one of you who always tune back to watch my program. May God Almighty bless you. You are free to leave your comment constructively. Like you know, I present to you information across the globe, especially Nigeria to be precise. And today, I present to you another exciting video which we are going to watch together. Now let's watch this video together, then come to my comment section and tell me what you think about the video. You are free to criticize, but constructively, as we watch the video together.
Waging an insurgency to try to overthrow the government and rid the country of Christians. Now human rights groups are asking the White House to stop the carnage. After losing ground in Syria and Iraq, the top general of U.S. Special Operations Command in Africa is warning that Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and other Islamic terror groups are now trying to take over parts of the continent's most populous nation. Major General Dagvin Anderson says Muslim terrorists have set their sights on Nigeria's southern and northwestern regions, and the U.S. is now sharing specific intelligence with the country.
So this intelligence sharing is absolutely vital, and we stay fully engaged with the government of Nigeria to provide them an understanding of what these terrorists are doing.
Their goal? Eventually turn Nigeria into a Muslim country and force Christians, who make up half the country's population, to either leave or convert.
Christians are in the eye of the target, and they're coming after them.
And the numbers are staggering. August 6th, Muslims stormed 4 remote Christian villages in Kaduna State, killing 22 villagers. July 24th, 21 dead, scores injured, and several Christian homes destroyed by militants. July 19th, 19 people killed when assailants armed with guns and machetes attacked a wedding reception. And the list goes on. Leading human rights groups say what's going on in Nigeria is a genocide.
If you look at what's happened on the last 20 years, George, it's just massive number of attacks against Christians. Look, 50 to 70,000 have been murdered.
For years, the main terror group was Boko Haram, which seeks to overthrow the government here and create an Islamic state.
They go after Christians and moderate Muslims. They push a hard-line Muslim agenda. It is their intention to establish a caliphate and to just rid all of Nigeria and West Africa of any Western influence whatsoever.
Now, there's a new actor on the scene. In Nigeria's so-called Middle Belt region, where the Muslim North meets the Christian South, a terror group made up of Muslim Fulani herders are killing thousands of Christians. More than 1,400 Christians were hacked to death in just the first 7 months of 2020 by Fulani herders.
Unfortunately, the secular media are quite often biased and trying to present this as a tribal conflict rather than religious.
Nigeria's president, a Muslim, has so far done very little to stop the bloodshed. His police and army are also mostly made up of Muslims.
The attackers are never captured. They are not prosecuted. The security services respond very slowly. A full day can go on with attacks happening and no security shows up. And frequently, the government officials will provide cover.
Helpless and vulnerable to almost daily attacks, leading Catholic bishops are now urging Nigerian Christians to defend themselves. Human rights groups are asking the White House to appoint a special envoy to help end the persecution of Christians in Nigeria.
Unless the world takes note and puts pressure, economic pressure, sanctions, visa bans on the officials who are responsible for this travesty and for not reining in the terror, then Nigeria will continue to be a bloodbath.
Meanwhile, King's Group is helping more than 3,000 Christians who lost their businesses, homes, farms or land to Boko Haram and Fulani militant attacks. International Christian Concern has created communal farms to give victims the opportunity to rebuild their lives.
When they get back to work, The family is fed. They have a future. The kids can go back to school. It's a restoration of hope. It really is. And it's much more than just economics. It's the whole community. It's all the parts of life, the emotional, the physical, the mental. It means a lot to them.
ICC and so many other groups trying to bring hope in the midst of all this devastation facing the Christians of Nigeria.
And they are doing it.
They are, absolutely.
Great story.
First of all, I would say that President Buhari is the most, is he the luckiest leader Nigeria have ever had in terms of getting away with funny things he does, getting away with incompetence, getting away with, impunities and rascality. I saw him at the chamber reading the documents they gave to him. Let me say this, and let me say this very clear. For us in the opposition, the budget presentation that the president did, the whole, even the content of that document, we describe it in one sentence. That is the 2020 budget is as heavy as a travel bag, but empty in substance. Nothing is in. Look at the budget presentation of close to 11 trillion. 2.4 trillion will be borrowed. 2.something trillion will be debt servicing. So 4 trillion, we don't even have it. I get him, it's gone. Now you're talking of a budget that you're going to now realize almost 40% of the funding from, futuristic taxation. Now the president, even without enabling the legislation, has insulted Nigerians more with that budget document by inserting the 7.2% increment in VAT, a subject matter that is still contentious, for which we in the opposition is going to court. Suddenly he smuggles in it because he thinks he's a law unto himself. That's why he said, "Oh, I've started taxing people." So part of the money that I will use to fund the budget will come from the intended plan to increase the VAT. This is the same man who weeks ago said he wants to reduce the suffering of Nigerian people. Now he has increased the suffering. People are paying all sorts of taxes. But let me ask you, how come after all the claim that his fight against corruption has succeeded, that he has blocked all the loopholes, meaning that we have more money, right? After all the talk that he made recovery from people who looted money, after all the talk that he has plugged all avenues of revenue leakage, the nation is broke. But there is only one thing, and I keep saying that Nigerians don't want to listen to it. President Buhari is incompetent. You cannot have a leader who sees every money, does not know what happens in government. People are around in job, men everywhere. They are playing on his inability to govern, and they are making money. He thinks that whatever he's doing is working. Look at what is happening to the soldiers. Are you not seeing the videos? Are you not seeing what's happening in the war front? The Boko Haram people are getting more sophisticated. Bandits have taken, for the first time in Nigerian history, bandits have become part of our security problem. They have taken a greater part of the country. Local crimes are all over the place, kidnapping, even right here in Abuja. Because the president formula, whether it's in insecurity, whether it's in corruption, whether it's in electoral reform, whether it's in politics, is not working because the man has nothing good to offer. Politics goes beyond mere rhetoric and talking. He can talk, but he does not have the capacity to execute. You can steal a presidential mandate, like we say, but you cannot see the capacity to govern. He should give way, let the nation move forward. He's suffering the people. The budget, let me say, is dead on arrival. It is unrealizable. It is a heavy travel bag that is empty in substance. There's nothing inside it. Because now, you're talking of a capital project that is less than 3 trillion. So, less than 3 trillion is what you will use to pull out almost over 17 million people out of poverty. It's a joke. He knows it will not work. So even at with the 11 trillion budget, part of it has gone to borrowing, part of it is going to debt servicing, part of it is going to all sorts of things, the chop, and then 3 trillion or less than 3 trillion will be used to provide infrastructure that will engineer growth. That's a joke. And then when you see him constituting a presidential economic panel, whatever they call it, I think he should know that this panel thing doesn't work. It's about leadership. It's about somebody that is at the head. They disbanded the Osibanjo panel. He constituted a panel that he didn't even put Osibanjo. That one suits Osibanjo. It's not even our business anyway. But at the end of the day, will President Muhammad Buhari have the ear to listen to the advice of the economic team? What about all the economic teams and all political teams, electoral, all the things he composed? What impact has that got to do with Nigeria? Inflation, economic crisis, insecurity, terrorism, banditry, electoral reform that has collapsed, all under him. And now the judiciary is also facing his threat also. We are not fighting to have our way. We are fighting to have the way of the country. We are fighting to have law and order. We are fighting to have merit. We are fighting to have decency. We are fighting to have fair play. And it's not about opposition. Everybody benefits from it when we get to institutionalize that. Why is the president tampering with sacred things in the country just because he wants to remain in office? I will borrow his words, the same language he used in describing the judgment of the court in 2007. That dubious ruling of the appeal court is a dubious ruling because that's what he used, and I want to borrow his words because it's a dubious ruling. Now, They know that what they have is a dubious electoral victory and a dubious ruling. And now they are panicking. Asking, why is it that they don't want the 7 justices of the Supreme Court to sit? Those guys are eminently qualified. Those guys are not answerable to both PDP or APC. Those people will not be willing to collect bribes from them. So that's why they want to disband them and pick Mr. A, Mr. B to come and sit in the panel. And we are saying, if you do that, we will not have confidence in the panel. And that will destroy the integrity of the Supreme Court. And if that's what you want Nigeria to experience, so be it. Because we will not keep quiet and allow it because we have respect for the Supreme Court. Then you go into the Supreme Court and you handpick your friends and allies and then we'll clap for you. All the justices of the Supreme Court are eminently qualified. But the question I ask you, why now? Why is the President Mohamed Ibrahim, after a history and a tradition that the country have used since 1979, come this evening and then want to handpick members of the panel that will sit on the presidential appeal of Atiku Abubakar through the CJN? We say no to that because you know the circumstances upon which the CJN emerged. And because of that, we in the opposition cannot trust the CJN, the current CJN, handpicking the membership of that panel. And that's why we're opposing the composition of that panel. And we're serious about it and we'll fight this battle up to next week. Whatever it takes, we are ready for it. So if the CJN have any respect for the institution of the judiciary, the best thing to do right now is to allow the order of seniority so that we can have our confidence.
Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time or first day of coming across my YouTube channel or seeing my face, you are highly welcome. Willkommen zu meinem Kanal. My name is Linda Chukwuezi. It comment as Linda says subscribe and you turn on the notification bell so that you'll be able to get information on the
Bis zum nächsten Video und einen schönen Tag. Tschüss.
Tschüss. Bis man subscribe to Linda's TV show. What are you waiting for? Click on that red button that says subscribe. You turn on the notification bell so that you'll be getting more updates from me. Leave your comment down below and share this video with your friends, families, and colleagues until we meet again in my next video. Bye bye.